Hello everyone and welcome back. It is Marissa, shocker. So I got a little bit of feedback last week. I apologize about the dishcloth thing. I hope everybody has figured it out. If you haven't figured it out, go ahead and send me another message or post pictures in the group or on Facebook on my page, and I will be happy to help you work out kind of what is happening. So I got one comment on what you guys would like to do, and that was to go ahead and start a blanket. So even though there's a lot of things that I could show you that would be considered beginning stitches, when I started learning, basically what I did is I did exactly like what we've done here. Is I learned the basic stitches, the slip stitch, the chain, the single, the half double, the double, and the double treble, or the triple first. And then once you have those stitches, you can do pretty much any project. That is absolutely what you need to know to be able to crochet. Everything else is just a combination in some way of doing those, or how you put it into the loops, whether you put it into the front loop or the back loop or both. That's basically what crochet is, guys. So everything else is just different combinations to make different stitches. So you have different stitches called like a bobble stitch, or you have your moss stitch, or your blanket stitch, or all kinds of different ones, but they're a combination of one of those 4 or 5 single crochet, double crochet, those kinds of things. So what we're going to do to make this blanket is we are going to start with 4 colors. So I chose my 4 colors, and while I am not a pink girl by any means, my oldest niece Destiny is pregnant, and she is going to be due, I believe, in September with Amelia Grace, and she is doing her nursery in pink, gray, and white in a swan theme. And I saw this berry color and absolutely loved it, and I think it just really sets off these other colors really well as an accent color. So you can do this as a 3 color, or you can do this as a 4 color, and you can do this in any color combination that you like. So what I do a lot of times, if I don't know which color combination that I want to use, I'll get on Pinterest and just search color combinations or color palettes or different things like that, and get some ideas from things that may not necessarily be yarn. They could be a natural palette from like the sea or the jungle or different things like that, and I take those colors and convert them into a blanket that I would like to make. So that's what we're going to do with these. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a beginner friendly blanket. This is the first blanket that I ever actually made, was a giant granny square blanket. And what we're going to do is this is going to be a giant granny square. So basically, once you get the first couple of rows down, you're just going to keep increasing it and adding to that one giant granny square. We are going to do a little something different with it. Instead of just changing regular colors, we're going to do an interlocking color, and don't be intimidated by that. It's super easy. It just gives it a really cool visual effect with the color changes. So I will show you how to do that as well. Now, I went to Joann's. At Joann's, the Joann's here, they allow you to stack coupons. So they had a 50% off one item, a 40% off one item, and a 20% off your purchase. So I was able to use all 3 of those coupons on this purchase. So these are 3, hold on just a moment, I can tell you. So this brand is a Joann's only brand as far as I'm aware. And these are regularly $3.49 a skein. And so I got one for half off, which was $175. I got one for 40% off, which made it $140 off. And then the other 2 I got for 20% off my total purchase, which took another $1.40 off. So my original total was like $15 and some change, and I ended up paying $10.19 for these 4 skeins. So if you use your coupons, you can download the app on your phone if you have a Joann's near you. I know Michael's has coupons, so you just have to look and see what they have available. I don't think they let you stack all the time. I know they have sometimes that you can stack your coupons and sometimes you can't. And then, of course, Hobby Lobby has 40% off, and I think their yarn, they have yarn sales fairly often, so you may be able to get your yarn. So like I said, this Big Twist brand is a brand I've only ever seen at Joann's. I like it because it is very soft, even though it is a value yarn. It's actually softer than the Red Heart. Other than that, it's pretty comparable other than just the softness. It has 6 ounces, which is 371 yards. It is an acrylic yarn. It is a size 4 worsted weight yarn. And this calls for a size H hook, but I don't use an H hook. I use an I hook. So I'm going to be using my regular I hook, which is a 5.25 millimeter. And this is calling for a 5 millimeter hook, so you can kind of see why I don't really bother. So the colors I got, this is dark rose. This is light rose. This gray I have used for so many projects, I can't even tell you guys. I keep these in my apartment. Like, these are in my stash, this gray color. And this is called medium gray. And then, of course, the white is just called white. So the white and the gray I almost always have in my stash. I love these two colors and the way that they blend together. And I've used them. They have a really gorgeous butter yellow that's great for like a gender neutral baby blanket that I've used before. Again, if you're in my crochet group on Facebook, I've posted a blanket, and the white, gray, and yellow one, and this is the white and the gray that I used for that one. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is I'm going to kind of play around with the color combo here to figure out how I want them to, what order I want them to go to. So what we're going to do is we're going to assign each of these like a number or a color. So this is going to be like A, B, C, D, and that'll tell us what order to put it on our blanket. So I think what I want to do is I want to start with my darkest color in the center. No, I want to start with white in the center. And then I think I want to go pink. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it in this order. Although, I could do that. No, I think I liked it in the original order. Okay, so we're going to go, this is one of those things you'll have to think about when you get ready to make your blanket. When you choose your colors and you get ready to make your blanket, you have to pick what order that you want them to go in. So this is going to be color A, color B, color C, and color D. And what we're going to do is we're going to do this blanket. I'm going to show you how to start it. And we'll do the first color change with the interlocking. If we get that far tonight. If not, that'll be next week's. And then each week we'll just add a set of rows on. So that you guys can kind of get the feel of this. And as we start adding rows, I may do it more as like a whip and chat type of a thing, and we'll just crochet together and go from there. So what we're going to do is I'm going to set these B, C, and D aside. And you guys are going to learn a couple of new things today that we haven't done before. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, like every single project, make our slip knot. So again, that is the short end over the long end. Do it on this hand, sorry. Short end over the long end. You put your fingers through, grab the long end, and pull through. So again, that's probably too much, but I don't mind leaving a long tail. So I'm going to leave that as it is. Sorry for that bump. We're going to put it on our hook. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some out so it's a little easier to work with since we're still at the beginning of the skein. And what we're going to do is we're going to create what they call a magic circle. And so this is the way that you start doing your granny squares. So what you're going to do is you are going to chain up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people chain 4, some people chain 6. To me, it doesn't really matter as long as you can get your hook through the center of it. I don't like to have a big loose circle in the center of my work, so I chain 4 or 5. And so for this project, we're going to do 5. Then what you're going to do is you are going to put your hook to make this a circle into this very first chain. So you're going to come back in, put your hook through that first chain, pull up a loop, and pull through the first one and the second one. And when you do that, you have now created your circle. So you can see your circle right there. So that's how you do a magic circle. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to show you how to crochet in your end as you go. So what we're going to do, this project is going to call for a slip stitch, which is what we just did. It is going to call for double crochets, and we're going to chain. And we're going to do all of that in combination to create the granny stitch. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to chain up 3. And then what I did with my tail is I'm just going to hold it alongside the circle. And as we put stitches on here, it's going to basically sew that into place as we go so that we don't have to come back and do that later. I keep a finger in the center of my circle so that I know where it's at and that I don't pull too tight or anything like that. So we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This is going to act as your first double crochet. From here on out, we're going to do double crochets and slip stitches, or chain stitches, whichever you want to call it. So this is going to be your first double crochet. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a cluster of 3 double crochets. So if this is 1 double crochet, you're going to yarn over, insert your hook into the loop, pull up a loop. You should have 3 on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Remember, that's how you do your double crochet. We're going to do that again. Yarn over, go into your circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. So that right there gives you 3 basically double crochets. So this first one is your chain. It counts as your first double. There's your second one, and there's your third one. Then what we're going to do is we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Now what this is going to do is this is going to create your corner, because this is a square. This is going to create your corner for your square. Once you've done that, and remember, I'm holding this into place. You don't have to do this, guys, but this is an easy way to sew in your ends as you stitch so that you don't have to come back and do it with a needle later. So just as a little tangent there. So we're going to yarn over, and we're going to do 3 double crochets. So there's 1, there's 2, and there's 3. So there's another side. So if this is your first side and your corner, there's your second side. So we have to make another corner, which is another 3 chains. 2, 3. We got to make another side, so that's another 3 double crochets. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so we need to make, there's 3 sides, we're at a corner, so that's a chain 3, and double crochet to make your 4th side. 1, and if you get here and you don't really have enough room, you can just kind of move your stitches over as you need to make enough room in your circle. There's 2, and there's 3, and then we're going to chain, no we're not. So here's your corner here. We've already chained that, but we're counting that as double crochet. So we do have to chain. I misspoke. So that's part of your side. So you're going to chain 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to go to this chain here. This is our very first chain that we did at the very beginning. And in the very top loop, which is right up here, you're going to do a slip stitch. So you're going to insert your hook, pull up a loop, and then pull that loop through the one that was on your hook. Okay? So there's one side, 2, 3, 4, and then you have your 4 corners. So right now it doesn't look very square, but as we go, it will square up a little bit more. So you're going to do the same thing that we just did. Excuse me. And we're going to get started with our next row. Okay? Okay, so we just finished our first row. Now this next row is going to be a little bit kind of off for what we've been doing, because what we're going to do is we're going to chain up, and then that's going to be our, we're going to come back to that at the very end of the row. So just kind of go with me on this. So you're going to chain up 3, 1, 2, 3, and then you're not going to put a stitch here or here. You're going to go over to your corner. Okay, and what you're going to do is you're going to do 3 double crochets into your corner. So there's 1, 2, and 3. Now because we have to keep our corners, what do you do on a corner is you chain 3. So 1, 2, 3. And in that same space, we're going to do another 3 double crochets. So basically what I'm doing is I'm building a side here. There's my corner, and then I've got to build a side to go on this. So 1, 2, and 3. And that all happened in the same corner. So you can see all those stitches went into that corner space there. So I created a side here, a corner, and a side here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to this corner, and we're going to double crochet. Hold on just a second. Okay, everybody, it is Marissa again. I filmed this last night, and I kept getting interrupted by phone calls, which is fine. However, the problem was that I didn't realize my video wasn't recording. So the last place that you saw me was when I had just finished this first center section here. And as you can see, I have proceeded, because I thought I was recording, doing a little bit of a whip and chat. So what we're going to do is I am going to finish where I'm at here, and then I'm going to post this today so that you guys kind of know what's happening. And then tonight when I get home, I will refilm this section of the video. So this is the amount of rows that we're going to film this week. So what we're doing is we're doing an interlocking color granny square. So this is kind of what it's going to start looking like as we go. So again, this is the section that I finished, and I will come back tonight and I will redo all of these rows so that you can see how to do those. And I will refilm. I'm kind of pretty salty about it, not gonna lie. But I will refilm that part so that you guys know what we're doing and how to do this to get to this point where we are on this. We're going to finish on this first pink row here tonight, and I may add some more depending on, you know, kind of how I feel. We'll see how my day goes and see how much more I want to talk. So I do apologize. The life of a YouTube creator, you know, all those fun things. So this is where we're going. But tonight I will come back to the start so that you can kind of see how we continue. See if I can find that video on my phone, if it recorded at all, or if it's completely missing. So hang in there. Yeah, good morning. I'll see you guys later. I hope everybody is doing well, and we will talk soon. Bye.